Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Evan Reiser, co-founder and CEO of Abnormal Security, to discuss the convergence of AI and cybersecurity and how cyber criminals are weaponizing Gen AI. My organizations need to leverage AI to fight back. Evan, certainly a hot topic. It's great to have you on the show. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thanks so much for having me, Jill.
You got it. And let's talk about email. This happens to be the #1 attack vector. Tell us what you're seeing there.
Yeah, so email security has always been, the best way to break into an organization. It attacks kind of the human endpoints, and that's why we see it today as the #1 cybercrime.
How is Gen AI providing criminals an outlet to, it seems like they're getting smarter when it comes to cybersecurity?
Well, unfortunately, criminals are always going to use, they're criminals, right? So they're going to use the best possible tools available to do bad things. There's kind of three effects we see from kind of the rise of generative AI tools, things like ChatGPT. One is it's allowing kind of all petty criminals to now launch nation state attacks, right? It's increasing the sophistication. We're seeing kind of increased automation by using these AI tools. And maybe the scariest part is there's would-be criminals that maybe didn't have the technical skills or language skills to launch these types of attacks. And now with large language models, anyone can go build those. So scary time for AI and cybersecurity.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of your notes here. As per the FBI, it's over $50 billion in cost to businesses just in the last decade.
Yeah, that's right. Business email compromise, or basically, social engineering to steal money from businesses via email. It's been the #1 cause of financial loss, #1 cause of breaches, and a big problem for everyone around the world.
How can enterprises protect themselves against these types of attacks? Could they use AI to fight AI?
So that's what we're trying to do. Abnormal is an AI native cybersecurity company. We help people stop phishing, fraud, and various forms of social engineering. And so that is that's our vision. We want to use kind of good AI to stop the bad AI. And as much as I'm worried about criminals using these new technologies, I am an optimist. And I do think defenders will have the advantage. There's a bunch of data organizations that are unique on the defensive side. They're unavailable to criminals, and these new AI technologies can use all that behavioral data to stop this next generation of attacks.
Well, Evan, what differentiates your product from traditional email security tools?
So conventional email security really relies on a lot of understanding known bad behavior, things like threat intelligence, different heuristics and rules. We kind of operate under the assumption that the next big attack is going to be something no one's ever seen before, right? And there's not a way we can recognize that. And so instead, what we do is we connect into the applications of our customers. We build behavioral models of everyone in the organization, the users, the supply chain, and we kind of build a baseline of known good behavior. And then when we see things that are inappropriate or abnormal, we go and stop those attacks.
Yeah, well, apparently, the marketplace is taking notice. You just passed a key milestone in terms of your ARR.
That's right. A couple of months ago, we announced that we passed over $100 million of ARR. We're far beyond that today. And today, I think we protect almost 15% of the Fortune 500. All
right. And to wrap up here, Evan, what's next in terms of plans for future growth, or just your outlook for the industry in general?
So I think, this will be undeniable, but I think AI is going to transform how we use technology, how we use computers. Criminals will be using this technology more and more in the future. So I think the next couple of years is going to be pretty scary from a cybersecurity perspective. It's going to take organizations a little bit of time to catch up, but I do think we're going to get to a really good state. For Admiral in particular, our big priorities for the next year or two. One is, we want to go scale internationally. We want to protect things like the U.S. federal government. So that's a big initiative for us, just protecting every customer around the world. And the second is kind of expanding the scope of our platform. So, historically, we've been focused on email. We recently launched the ability to protect, other channels for attacks, Slack, Teams, Zoom. And we want to expand that to go protect the broader SaaS environment to make sure that any bad message or any kind of account takeover, any SaaS application can be identified and autonomously resolved with abnormal security.
All right, Evan, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.